Welcome everyone. Today's video might change the way you think about learning English. Forever. Because this is not just another English tutorial. This is not a list of boring grammar rules or confusing vocabulary tips. This is not a video that will waste your time. This video is a complete, practical, and smart guide that shows you exactly how to use ChatGPT, the most advanced language tool in the world, to become fluent in English, no matter what your level is right now. Whether you're a complete beginner who can't speak a single sentence, or someone who understands English but can't speak confidently, or someone who wants to take their English from okay to excellent, this video is for you. Because for the first time in your life, you now have a tool that is available 24 hours a day, speaks perfect English, answers any question, corrects your mistakes, never judges you, and gives you personalized learning instantly. And that tool is ChatGPT. But here's the truth. Most people don't know how to use it properly. They open it, ask a question, and close it. They don't realize that this one tool can become your private English tutor, speaking partner, grammar coach, vocabulary trainer, confidence booster, and even your daily motivation. If you know how to use it the right way, it can replace books, courses, apps, and even classrooms. It's like carrying the world's best English teacher in your pocket, and it never gets tired. But only if you use it smartly. These are not random tips. These are real, actionable, and proven techniques that you can start using immediately after this video. At home, for free, on your own time. And I want to make one promise. By the end of this video, you won't just have information. You'll have a clear plan. You'll have real techniques. And most importantly, you'll have hope. Hope that yes, even if you've failed before, even if you feel slow or embarrassed, even if everyone laughs at your English, you can still learn, you can still grow, and you can still become fluent, because this time, you're not doing it alone. Let's begin. Step 1. Use ChatGPT as your personal speaking partner. One of the biggest reasons people fail to speak English is simple. They have no one to practice with. Maybe your friends don't speak English. Maybe you're too shy to speak in front of others. Maybe you make mistakes and people laugh. Maybe you're just afraid of saying something wrong. And because of that, your English remains trapped inside your mind. You understand, but you can't express. You know the words, but your tongue doesn't move. You learn every day, but when it's time to speak, you freeze. This is where ChatGPT becomes a game changer. You can now have an English conversation anytime you want. At midnight, in the morning, during lunch, before sleep. It's always available, and it never gets tired. But most importantly, it never judges you. Now let's get practical. Here's how to use ChatGPT as your personal speaking partner. Type this to ChatGPT. Let's have a simple English conversation. I'm a beginner. You ask me questions, I'll answer. Please correct my mistakes after each reply. This one prompt opens the door to real communication. For example, ChatGPT. Hi, how are you today? You. I good. ChatGPT. Thanks for your reply. A small correction. Instead of I good, say I'm good. Keep going. Now you're not just chatting. You're learning, correcting, speaking, building fluency without fear. Another example for more advanced learners. Pretend you're my friend from the US. Let's talk in casual English about daily life. Correct me only if I make big grammar mistakes. This helps you build real natural fluency. Let's say, ChatGPT. Hey, how was your weekend? You, It was amazing. I gone to the beach with my cousin. ChatGPT. Awesome. Just a small fix. Say I went to the beach instead of I gone to the beach. You're doing great. See the difference? You're not memorizing grammar rules. You're living the language. You're practicing like you're talking to a real person. If you're nervous to type, you can also say, "Please ask me 5 questions in English one by one. Wait for my answer before asking the next. Correct my answer before going to the next question." This builds slow, controlled fluency. Perfect for absolute beginners. Now let's talk about why this works so powerfully. When you speak to ChatGPT daily, your fear goes away. Your mouth gets trained. You learn real sentence patterns. You see your own progress day by day. You feel excited to speak again tomorrow. And best of all, you're never interrupted, never judged, and never rushed. ChatGPT gives you the space and the support that real classrooms never gave. Even if you speak broken English, it listens. Even if your grammar is wrong, it corrects you politely. Even if you stop and restart, it waits. You don't need to be fluent to start. You become fluent because you start. You could practice English for 3 years in school and still feel scared to speak. But if you practice speaking with ChatGPT every day, even for 20 minutes, you will speak better in 3 months than you did in 3 years. Because this is not theory. This is not passive watching. This is real, live, private, fearless speaking practice. And the best part? It's free, it's private, and it's yours. Use it. Practice with it. And you'll never say, "I have no one to speak with," ever again. Step 2. Use ChatGPT as your personal sentence corrector and explainer. In Step 1, you learned how to use ChatGPT to practice speaking with confidence, like having a real conversation partner. But now we go even deeper. Because if you speak English but don't know what's wrong with your sentence, if you write a paragraph but can't figure out the grammar mistake, if you translate something and don't know why it sounds unnatural, then your progress becomes slow, confusing, and frustrating. You keep wondering, is this sentence correct? Why is my English not sounding natural? Why do native speakers say it differently? And worst of all, you stop improving because you're afraid of making the same mistakes again and again, and no one is correcting you. This is why Step 2 is so powerful, because now you will use ChatGPT as your private sentence correction coach, who doesn't just fix your sentence, but also explains exactly what went wrong and why. And this explanation, this understanding, is the key to permanent improvement. Let me show you exactly how to do it. Technique 1. Correct my sentence and explain why. You simply go to ChatGPT and type, "Here's my sentence. I am go to market yesterday." Is this correct? If not, please correct it and explain why. Now look at what happens. ChatGPT might reply, "Your sentence has a grammar mistake." The correct version is, "I went to the market yesterday." Why? Because when you talk about the past, you must use past tense. Go is not correct. Went is the past tense of go. So the sentence becomes, "I went to the market yesterday." This is not just correction. This is education. You're learning the grammar rule, the tense, the reason, and how to avoid the mistake next time. Let's go deeper. Technique 2. Fix my paragraph. You don't have to ask about one sentence only. You can give ChatGPT a full paragraph and ask, "Please check my paragraph and correct all grammar, sentence structure, and unnatural phrases." Then explain the major changes you made. Example input. Yesterday, I going to college and I meet my teacher. She tell me that exam is coming and I should study hardly. ChatGPT corrects it. Yesterday, I went to college and met my teacher. She told me that the exam is coming and I should study hard. Then explains, I going, wrong tense, should be I went, I meet, past event, should be I met. She tell me, past, should be told me, study hardly, wrong word, should be study hard, because hardly means almost not at all. Now imagine you get this type of clarity every day. You will never repeat the same mistake. Start thinking in correct grammar automatically. Understand why English works the way it works. That's how fluency grows, not by guessing, but by understanding. Technique 3. Compare my version with native speaker version. This is one of the most underrated tricks for becoming fluent and natural in English. Type this to ChatGPT. Here is my sentence. I'm very tired because too much work. Please rewrite it like a native speaker would say it in natural English. Then explain the difference. ChatGPT might say, native version. I'm exhausted because I had a lot of work. Then it explains, very tired is correct, but exhausted sounds more natural and expressive. Too much work is okay, but I had a lot of work sounds smoother in conversation. I very tired is missing the verb am. Should be I'm very tired. With this method, you're not just learning grammar, you're learning how real people speak, which is the secret to sounding fluent and confident. You stop sounding robotic. You stop sounding textbook. You start sounding alive, clear, and real. Technique 4. Translate and get it fixed. If you still think in your native language and then try to speak English, that's okay. It's part of the journey. But you must train your brain to move from direct translation to natural English. By doing this every day, you stop making translation errors and start thinking like a native speaker. Every time you write something in ChatGPT and ask for correction, save the reply. Make a personal file called My English Corrections. Review it every weekend. Why? Because repeated mistakes become permanent. Unless you correct them again and again until they disappear. And now you have the perfect tool to fix them daily, kindly, instantly, and with full understanding. Let's imagine two learners. Learner A watches English videos and writes a few sentences but never checks if they're correct. He keeps making the same mistakes for years. Learner B writes one sentence a day but always asks ChatGPT, please check this sentence, fix it, and explain why. Who becomes fluent faster? Obviously, Learner B, because progress in English is not about doing more, it's about doing it right. And now you have the ability to do it right every single time, with zero cost and zero fear. You don't need to be perfect to start. You don't need to memorize grammar books. You just need to start writing, and then asking, is this correct? Can you help me fix it? Please explain why. And ChatGPT will never say no. Step 3. Use ChatGPT to grow your vocabulary with context, examples, and real-life usage. Let's be honest. Vocabulary is one of the biggest problems for English learners. Not because learners don't want to improve, but because they don't know how to grow vocabulary the right way. Here's what most people do. They search on Google. 10 new English words. They write them in a notebook. They try to memorize them like school homework. And after 1 week, they forget everything. Why? Because they only read the word, but they never feel the word. They know the definition, but they don't know how it sounds in real life. They collect words, but they never build connection or emotion with those words. That's why in this step, I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to learn vocabulary in a way your brain remembers. See it used in real-life situations. Practice it daily through smart methods. And make it part of your speaking naturally, without memorizing. This is not about collecting words. This is about living with them, practicing with them, and owning them. Let's begin. Technique 1. Learn 5 to 10 words in context, not in isolation. Instead of asking, "Give me 10 English words," ask ChatGPT, "Give me 10 daily life English words with simple meanings and example sentences." Use each word in a situation I can understand. Now watch the transformation. Instead of giving you a boring list like abandon, acquire, evaluate, ChatGPT will give you this: abandon, meaning to leave something or someone behind. Sentence: he had to abandon his car in the storm and walk home. Context: you're stuck in heavy rain and your car breaks down. You can't drive anymore, so you leave it and go. Now this word is not just a word. It's a story. You saw it, you felt it, you understood it. Your brain will now remember it. Not because you memorized it, but because it made emotional sense. Technique 2. Build vocabulary by topic. Don't learn random words. Your brain needs themes to organize memory. Ask ChatGPT, "Teach me 7 English words related to food and eating, with example sentences and situations." Or, "Give me 10 emotional vocabulary words people use in relationships, with natural examples." Or, "Teach me 5 advanced words to talk about sadness, with simple definitions and real-life situations." Let's do one together. Ask, "Give me 5 emotional words people use in relationships." ChatGPT might give affection, meaning a gentle feeling of liking or care. Sentence: he showed his affection by remembering her favorite coffee every morning. Situation: a boyfriend remembers tiny things. That's affection. Neglect, meaning not giving enough attention or care. Sentence: she felt neglected when he stopped replying to her texts. Situation: you understand the emotion. You feel the word. When vocabulary is emotional, themed, and visual, it becomes permanent, because the brain remembers stories, not just sounds. Technique 3. Personalize vocabulary to your life. This is one of the most powerful ways to use ChatGPT that almost nobody is doing. Ask, "Give me 10 English words that I can use to talk about my daily routine. Waking up, eating, working, relaxing, with example sentences." Why is this so effective? Because now the vocabulary is immediately useful. You're not learning difficult words like relinquish or benevolent. You're learning things you can actually say today, like get up. I get up at 7 a.m. every morning. Brush. I brush my teeth while listening to music. Prepare. I prepare breakfast for my family. Now imagine you practice those 10 words every morning by describing your day to ChatGPT. In 1 month, you're not just learning new words. You're thinking in English without trying. And that's how fluency happens. Technique 4. Make ChatGPT quiz. Learning vocabulary without testing it is like lifting weights once and expecting muscles. You need repetition. You need feedback. Type, "Give me a vocabulary quiz of 5 questions using the words we learned today." Ask 1 question at a time. Wait for my answer. Then tell me if I'm right and explain. ChatGPT, what does affection mean? A, anger. B, care and love. C, hunger. D, excitement. B, ChatGPT, correct. Affection means care and love. Great job. Next question. Now you're learning and testing in a fun, private, judgment-free way. No teacher, no exam pressure. Just you, your brain, and daily growth. Technique 5. Use it in a sentence and ask for feedback. Once you learn new words, your goal should not be to memorize. Your goal is to use them in real conversation. Type, I just learned the word neglect. I will now use it in 3 different sentences. Please check if I'm using it correctly and give me feedback. You, I neglect my homework. My boss neglect the team. She neglects her health these days. ChatGPT corrects you. Sentence 1, correct. Sentence 2, neglect is okay, but it should be, my boss neglects the team. Third person S. Sentence 3, perfect usage. Now you're not only learning, you're mastering. Because learning a word once means nothing, but using it confidently means everything. Type. Create a 30-day vocabulary challenge for English learners. Each day should include 5 words, example sentences, and a small task to practice them. ChatGPT might give Day 1. Words. Wake, wash, eat, go, work. Sentences. I wake up at 6. I wash my face, etc. Task. Write 3 sentences using today's words and say them aloud. Now every day becomes a mission. Every morning you grow 5% better. And in 30 days, you will have 150 plus new words that you can use without fear. You don't need to know 5,000 words. You need to use 500 words correctly in real life. And ChatGPT is the only tool that gives you new words, explains them in simple English, uses them in stories, tests you with quizzes, checks your mistakes, and helps you remember by using them again and again. It's not a dictionary. It's a personal vocabulary trainer. Use it wisely, and you'll never feel stuck for words again. Words are not power.